This is
Boom. Team Rochelle.
And you guys, we just want to say thank you so much for all of your support, for all of the shares, for all of the comments. If you commented on our last video, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep sharing more questions. We're going to get ready for part 2 of our discussion last week. Next week. So, but today we're talking about a new subject, you guys. And before we get into that, again, we just want to say thank you. We want to let you know that we are sharing our experiences. We are by no means experts on the topic of relationships. We just kind of want to give an insight as to what we go through as a family and as a couple, and how we've talked through those things and just learned from each other. So that's what we are here to do today, and we're so thankful if you're watching. Thank you for watching. If you have the opportunity, we would love if you would share this video, share it with a friend, a family member, share it on your Facebook page.
Click like.
Whatever, click a like, give us a comment, whatever you would like to do. We'd be so appreciative of that. So today we're talking about a super cool subject. We're talking about, or our headline is, Let's Build a Life Together. Right?
Together. And basically how we're going to break this down is how we as a family have decided and made it a solid point to live life together as one. That means that a big bulk of the things that we do are going to be family involved. It's not going to be, oh, Maddie's going to show up, or Jarell's going to show up, or Addie's going to show up. Like, we want to keep the sanctity of oneness with our family. And so we're going to talk about how we break down standards and things that we believe and think, and ideas that we had to set in order to make that something concrete that could be held onto our family to build the Rochelle name and to build a legacy that extends beyond us.
So get ready.
Get ready! So the first point I would like to make and talk about is why. Why did we choose this lifestyle of choosing our family and our core as one versus the regular one? And I think this explanation lends itself to understanding the value of family. I think family is probably the most biggest identifier that, I don't care where you come from, what your beliefs are, everyone can agree that family is important. We feel it when family isn't important. And so for us coming up, both of our mutual desires was just to be around our family. I mean, we love our family so much. And in some capacities it works, in some capacities it didn't. But it's like, that's always been important to us as people, and I think that's what makes our relationship so dynamic, is because we literally care so much about our family unit. And I remember growing up and being like, we might not have had a lot as a family, but we always had each other, and that is the essence of why we do what we do and why we fight for it. We set standards for it. We stand behind it, even when persecuted, or why is so-and-so always like, why are you taking Addie with you? Why are you doing this? And it's like, because that was the greatest vision in our heart, and that's what God put inside of us to believe. To believe for our family to be a family and walk together. And I don't think a lot of people put emphasis on that in today's culture. It's like, well, you go off and do your 9-to-5 thing, and we'll throw you in daycare. And there's nothing wrong with that, because people have to make livings, and we understand that, but we just decided that we wanted our living to be around each other, so that we wouldn't miss what was going on in the other person's universe. Because, I mean, it's a blessing. If you think about it, sometimes I feel like we can put the means before the end, and we can say, I'm making so much money, I'm hustling for my family, I'm doing this for my family, and you're not seeing your family. Maybe it's like that your family wants you. And that's what we try to put the emphasis on, our family wanting each other, and that being enough, and then the extra stuff being, extra add-ons. And so,
and I will say too, piggybacking off of that family's not always blood. So this looks different.
That is true, so true. Because we got a lot of family out there. That's a good point. We got a lot.
And it's not always about either I have to be in this situation, especially if you're in an unhealthy situation with your family. And that's definitely not what we are striving for. Just being in this little bubble together where we can't breathe.
Yeah.
And everybody's family looks different. So whether that's, your work family or your church family or friends that you've had around you for your whole life, family looks different. Yeah. And for us, we don't share DNA, but we've come together as a family and we've made our own little unit together. And I think that's something that's to us so precious because, we're those weirdos who love to be with each other all the time. And I know everybody doesn't like that. Yeah, it is totally fine. I've gotten that before where they're like, I don't get how you spend so much time with your spouse.
I love them.
We just love spending time together. And that's something that makes our relationship and our family unique. And so like Jarell said, whatever it is that, wherever your family is, whether that's blood or not, whether it's work, wherever it is, I think it's awesome to be able to pour into that. And that's how we pour into our situation is with our little 3 unit. So you'll always usually see if I'm somewhere, Jarell and Addie are usually there. Jarell's there, me and Add are probably going to show up. If Addie's there, we're both there. Because we try to be responsible parents. Yeah. So I think that's just something that's so beautiful. And it's just purpose that God has given us just to work together and be there for each other. And even though we annoy each other sometimes.
Yeah, we do. It's okay. We do. But we work through it. But we do. And it's real. Purpose. It happens.
Yeah. As long as you're following your purpose, you'll go up from there. So. So the second thing that we want to talk about is, just us working together, working towards our dream, working events like Express 5, Mama's Got Moves, doing those different kinds of things. We've had to make some sacrifices. So this is definitely not just, it's been super easy. And,
not at all. Like, man, if we have time to explain our story, which we will get to at a certain point. But we've definitely didn't move out to Greenville without there being sacrifices made. And I think that speaks to the situation and how good God has been to us. But some of the sacrifices, we don't work. We have worked 9-to-5 jobs. We've definitely, both of us have. Yeah.
We
OTF
don't currently. Shout out.
Oh, shout out.
And we've been so thankful for those, but we don't work 9-to-5 jobs. Sometimes that has meant sacrifices in money or time, or sometimes stability in what we're doing and sanity sometimes. And
that's a fact.
It can get a little crazy sometimes because you're wondering what's going on and what's God gonna do. And I can always say that we've always been provided for, and we've always been given ways to provide for our family. Yeah. And so that's been something that's really great because as we've been chasing our dreams, which is to build our own empire, to work in our gifts of dance, of teaching, of administration, of all of those things, it has come with sacrifices, but the sacrifices themselves have been usually things. Not things that, once you get rid of it, it's like, oh, okay, this is not too bad. Like, we can build without this, or we can learn how to get around it. We can learn how to be creative. Even, hashtag struggle meals. Working our creative talents and gifts and working with God, what God has given us to just get to where we want to be. And it's cool to know that those things don't happen overnight. They don't. Shout out to Stephanie Gretzinger. If you've never checked out her music, check it out. But she talks about the journey and the process and what you go through and how that is so much greater than getting to this end goal. And it's true. We've gone through a lot of different things together. One of them being having no money in our account, not knowing what we're doing, not knowing if we have jobs. And looking back at those times, it's like those were really cool because we got to figure it out together.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think, like, the togetherness, if somebody wants to mock me, togetherness was the thing that pulled us through those journeys into the unknowns. And I feel like, primarily, I love that you touched on Greenville. That was something that we were thrusted out of our comfort zone and asked to come to a place that we had never inhabited, never seen. We just knew we had a connection, a divine connection into an apartment complex, and we had an inn. And the one thing that was the only certain thing that I was holding on to, because friends come and go, there's different seasons for mentorship, there's so many things that change, but the only resolute thing that I knew in my mind is that they would be with me. And that's the only thing I needed to know because I had everything I needed. And that's the cool thing about doing life together as a family and together is because you really don't need all of what you think you need. You just need what you have.
What God's given you.
And that's a beautiful thing for me, at least. And so, it's just remaining together on that and being happy with that resolve.
Yeah, definitely.
Our third and final point for this conversation is basically wrapping this up in what did we gain from building a life together. And I think it speaks to a lot of what we sacrificed, but there were so many advantages and blessings in the hand of God and how we saw him move through a lot of things because we chose what he put in our hearts and not what the status quo and the standard was. So Matt's going to talk a little bit about that.
So I think that, like Jarell said, there have been sacrifices that we've made. Like we said, coming out here, we definitely didn't know anybody. We didn't know where we'd be or what was going on, if we had jobs, this and that. But there's been so much that we've gained from just following the purpose that God has given us and sticking together. Yeah. And I think part of that is, again, we enjoy so much time together, like just being able to spend time with our family, explore the world, explore our surroundings, travel, be in a new place, constantly be with our baby girl. Like, to me, that was always a dream that I had, was just to be with my child, and just to raise her and be with her and be with my husband. It's opened up doors for us to meet new people in Greenville, in a place that we've never been. Amazing people.
Shout out to everybody at Hot 98.1, Relentless Church. I mean, there's so many pockets.
Anthony behind the camera.
Yeah, SDC,
He's awesome.
DJ Bless. Like, I mean,
so many
we've
people.
been in so many pockets of community, and like that has enriched our lives. But keep going. I'm sorry.
It's also given us the opportunity to pursue what we love. So, doing things like running events and doing pitch meetings for our events, and just really working in our gifts. It's such a freeing thing when you can wake up and you're so excited, like, ooh, I get to work on this project today. I wanna talk to some people. I wanna network. I wanna work on this poster. We're filming today, or whether it feels small at the very beginning, it doesn't matter, because you know that you're working out of what you want to do and what you love to do. Yeah. And so I think that's a big thing that we've gained, is just being able to do that constantly. And then for us, like, being able to show Addie that you do have the possibility to go out in life and get what you want and live your dreams. Yeah. And it's not just about the sacrifice. It's not just about, doing things the way that society says, oh, you have to go this way to be successful. You have to go this route. You have to do this to be successful, to earn this amount of money, to feel satisfied in life. It's like, it's so much more than that. And discovering that for ourselves has been so beautiful, rather than letting other people tell us what will make us happy and what will bring us together as a family, because that's really something that God puts in our hearts. Yeah. So.
And to piggyback off of what you said, the Bible says, do not despise the days of humble beginnings. Do not despise the days of humble beginnings. And I think it speaks to the fact that, like, regardless of what we have started to build, whether that's the show or events or whatever, it always starts small. Dreams always start small, because it's like you're still caring for these babies and understanding how they work and how they grow up, how we function inside the baby,
how
because we've had like parts where we're like, we're going to teach a workshop and Addie's on, your chest and you have to dance and we haven't slept. And I mean, just different things. And it's like all that is molding towards something. So I believe when you honor your family, if I honor you as my wife and I honor our daughter as her father, then things will fall into place and accord to itself, because that is something that's honorable to care after and to take care of your family, to lead, guide, and direct them and help them like become who they are. They need to be. And exactly, and how they show up in the world. And that to me has been like the big advantage of deciding for that life together, because now we have 3 partners or however many children we decide to add, or God decides to add in our clique, and then people along with us for the journey, you all, friends and family in Texas, here in South Carolina. It's just that togetherness brings more togetherness. It does. So we just want, our dream is to, and this is just something that's in our heart, is we want to employ entire families. We don't want just separate people, because we believe that, if you are with your family, I think it has the potential to bring out the best in you, because it's the motivation, it's the why behind what you do. And so, choosing that lifestyle is all of the blessing in one. And we hope that we can encourage other people to do the same and to understand their families.
And I think, too, the means of the end is not by any means money. We're definitely not striving for things.
Yeah, not
and
at
I
all.
think that success sometimes is so easily defined by that. If you're successful, you have a lot of money, or you have a lot of popularity, or you have a lot of things. And I've never had a lot of money, but I know that that's not true, because we are here again in humble beginnings.
Content.
And it's like when you're able to, whatever it is that you want to do, maybe you don't want to work with your family, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
But whatever it is that you're doing, when you're doing it to the fullness of your capability, the way that we're able to work in our family, and we work together and we do events, that's what we love to do. And because we're doing that and we're working out of that, it feels like
a
success.
Dream. Yeah,
it is
it's a
success.
Dream. Yeah.
And to us, as
Every
long
day.
as we keep in that, we'll be successful. And I will say, don't ever knock the struggle and the hustle, because I feel like we've learned so much in that. There has been so much wisdom that has come from not having things.
Yeah.
When you have things, I mean, you have things and it's like, oh, that's cool. But when you really have to use your creative mind and dig in and work, you learn so much. And I can say that from experiences with us together and us separately. And so just, if you're in that spot, I know it's hard.
Love it. Appreciate it.
Try to appreciate it. Try, to gather those lessons. And on those days where you're just fed up, give yourself a break, and just realize that it won't always be that way, and just work towards what you love, and you'll be successful.
Amen.
Yeah.
Dang, girl.
Okay, so our challenge this week is, I want you to think about one way that you can build with your partner. So if you're in a relationship or not, this could be for your future partner, but one way that you guys can come together and build together, whether that's building together for, what you guys do as individuals, or building together as a family.
Yeah.
I want you to just think of one way. And to make this fun, ooh, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
To make this fun, I want you to drop a GIF in the comments of how, like a hint of how you would do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know what that would look like. Just be creative.
Yeah.
Drop some GIFs. It doesn't even have to make sense. But think about that. Drop a GIF below. We would love to hear from you guys. And if you get a chance, share this video.
Yeah, comment, subscribe. Our Instagram page, Rolling with the Rochelle's app.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for just spending your time as we just talk about what God has brought us to. So Jarell's going to pray us out today. And we will see you guys next time.
All right.
Do not make fun of me. Right before prayer.
God, thank you so much for everybody who's watching. We just pray that they experience a full flush of joy and love in their hearts for their relationship, for the uniqueness that you've brought to it, and for the flaws even. Sometimes we look at flaws as such a bad thing, but those flaws help us to grow and mature, and they help the person who's with us to be refined and sharpened in sanctification, and that's a part of the process. Yes. So God, we thank you for the process in all of these relationships and all of the soon-to-be relationships, and we just ask that you bless them in this week. Let them find and discover new things about themselves and about the other person, and God, just walk with them and walk with us as we grow, build, and call forth your righteousness and your kingdom into proper perspective through our experience. In the name of Yahusha we pray. Amen.
We both did church hands.
Yes, church hands, yes. Lift him up. Lift him up high.
I just try not to laugh.
Hey, well, sometimes you just gotta. All right. Bye. Peace out, y'all. Peace out.